So would you say you still spend about 300 days a year writing Empire?
No, no. I was the first 2 seasons of Empire. I was very active, and then season 3, I switched to consulting and went and made Rebel in the Rye. So I'm now season 3 and 4. I'm still the executive producer on it, but I'm not nearly as hands-on as I was in the first 2 seasons.
So you probably couldn't have written Rebel in the Rye and also Empire at the same time.
Well, I think I wrote Rebel in the Rye the first couple drafts before Empire happened. And it actually, Empire happening slowed my progress in getting Rebel in the Rye made because Empire got made. So I ended up working on that, but I ended up directing a lot of episodes of Empire. So that was an amazing experience for me to transition into directing. It just couldn't have been a better way to really learn that craft because you have to move so quickly, and I have plenty more to learn, but it was a great start for me.
When you're writing, and I know you said you had this writing day where you have your breakfast, you kind of do a few things, get a lot of like housekeeping, quote unquote, out of the way. Is it easier to write in New York versus LA, or the place doesn't really matter?
Well, I love New York City. I love being there. I'm just so happy there. So for me, I can write anywhere, and that's kind of one of the fun things about writing is I can be anywhere in the world and I can write. And it's actually pretty cool to be in some random city somewhere in some random coffee shop and you're writing, and it's like, how often does someone have a job that they could do anywhere in the world? I mean, that's a lot of fun. And I'm perfectly productive in Los Angeles too. I just love being in New York, and it's just an exciting place to be. So.
Can you relate to J.D. Salinger's process in terms of once he sort of crossed over into meditation and all of that, where he needed to really barricade himself? Can you relate to that, or?
I definitely don't barricade myself at all. I actually write in public places. I don't like being in a quiet room by myself. I have a certain amount of ADD, and being in a quiet room, I zone out and I'm less productive. So I actually like having people around me. I wear my headset, I listen to music, I write to movie scores. So I'm just listening to movie scores, and people are around, and there's an energy, and I find it very helpful. And it just helps me focus, but that's just me. So the isolation of what Mr. Salinger did is kind of the opposite of how I work.
For new writers, I know they're told to get feedback from other people. And I was just reading Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird, and she talked about like writers' conferences and how they can be helpful, but at the same time, sometimes the same, slashing to the edits is also stabbing the screenwriter a little bit. You talk about the kindest way to give somebody honest feedback. So you're actually helping them, but you're not wounding them so that they won't go on.
Well, I think that the best way to give feedback, and I very much rely on feedback, and I need notes from people, and it helps me see problems, and it's a very important part of my process is getting feedback. But I think that good feedback is when it's just about the script. It doesn't get personal. It doesn't talk about bigger ideas of whether you can do this or not, or you have talent or not, where it's literally just about how to make this script or this story better in areas that are problematic. And I think that I think it's really important when someone's getting feedback that they talk to a few people, that they get feedback from maybe 3 people, because there could be feedback that someone gives you that they're very passionate about, but they don't know what they're talking about, that it's bad feedback, that they're just not good at giving feedback. There's a lot of people that aren't good at giving feedback, right? So you want a few opinions. And for me, when I start hearing from 2 or 3 people the same problem they're having, well, there's probably a problem there, and there's probably something I need to address. And one of my favorite parts of writing is when I take a problem and then I fix it and then it's good. That's so exciting, because you have something that was bad that's now good. And it's like you have a hole, and instead of having a ditch, you have a statue there instead. So it's a very but I can only get there by getting feedback from people.